Halo Combat Evolved can be better than it was. Since the game's release in 2001, the plot of the game has been added upon, with books, comics, and even arcade cabinets, stacking additional storylines onto Master Chief's journey across Alpha Halo. With Halo Studios, formerly known as 343 Industries, all but confirmed to officially reveal a remake for Combat Evolved at the Halo World Championship Finals in a few weeks, I figure that now is as good a time as ever to talk about my hopes for the remake. What I want them to add, what I want them to keep the same, and my hopes for what Halo will be going forward.
We're coming in too fast! Damn! Air brake failure! They blew too early! I'm losing her! Brace for impact!
The story and level design of Combat Evolved is pretty old. In the nearly 25 years since the game was released, there have been quite a few additions to the original storyline. The most notable being Halo the Flood by William C. Dietz, Halo First Strike by Eric Nyland, and the Fireteam Raven arcade cabinet by Raw Thrills. Game technology has also advanced in that time span. Worlds are bigger, enemies are more complex, and the limitations that had bound game design on the original Xbox have been shattered multiple times over. This is the perfect time to add to Combat Evolved's original frame. Fireteam Raven by Raw Thrills was an on-rails arcade shooter that was released July 10th, 2018 at Dave & Buster's. The game's story followed a squad of orbital drop shock troopers, better known as ODSTs, that were present on the Halo ring at the same time as Master Chief. As detailed in The Flood, a novelization of the plot of Combat Evolved, the survivors of the Pillar of Autumn's crash on Alpha Halo regrouped and formed a base of operations where they carried out strikes on Covenant encampments. Throughout the arcade game's on-screen narrative, the squad consistently crossed paths with Covenant, the Flood, and even Master Chief himself. Obviously, this group is nowhere to be found in the original Combat Evolved title, which makes this Fireteam storyline a perfect addition for the remake, either as future downloadable content or as part of the base game. Within Halo's extended universe, off the beaten path of the main plot of the game, there are troves of subplots and character interactions. In Combat Evolved Anniversary, a 2011 remaster of the original game, terminals with their own animated stories from the extended universe were added. These little nuggets of lore that players could discover were a clever way to spruce up the rich world that was created in 2001, without taking anything away from the original story. Since the original game's release, additional details, such as Flood Jenkins from the Flood novel, and the aforementioned Fireteam Raven, have been added into the mix. Dusting them off and incorporating them into the framework of the remake would be a great way to flesh out the world and add additional trimmings to the events of the main plot. The layout of the original Combat Evolved was simplistic, partly by choice, but also because the technology of the time was not yet at the level needed to expand the game world further. The original Combat Evolved does a good job of allowing the player different choices in approaching enemy engagements, whether it be perching on a cliff to snipe enemies at a distance, or rushing in guns blazing. With the development tools of today, the remake should expand upon these choices even further, either through more intricate pathways to engagements, or through the creation of brand new avenues. As the great Joseph Staten said in the February 2021 blog post leading to Halo Infinite's release, it's the most open and adventure-filled Halo game ever. It's the Halo game we could only dream about making 20 years ago, and we can't wait for you to explore it. Levels such as Assault on the Control Room, the Silent Cartographer, and Halo are perfect candidates for Halo Studios to expand upon what Bungie had envisioned in 2001.
The Covenant were right. This ring, it's Forerunner. Give me a second to access. Yes, the Forerunner built this place, what they called a fortress world, in order to... Wait. No, that can't be. Oh, those Covenant fools. They must have known. There must have been signs.
Slow down. You're losing me.
The Covenant found something. Buried in this ring. Something horrible. And now, they're afraid.
Something buried? Where?
The Captain. We've got to stop the Captain.
Keys?
The weapons cache he's looking for. It's not really... We can't let him get inside.
I don't understand.
There's no time. Get out of here, find keys, stop him. Before it's too late!
Halo Studios is in a great position to breathe new life into Halo after its struggles in recent years. But not everything needs to be brand new. There are certain elements of the original game that should be preserved in order to keep it in line with the original title's tone, pacing, and visual style. Halo hasn't had an M-rated video game since Halo 4 in 2012. For video games, a mature rating does more than limit who can buy the title without permission. It fundamentally changes what can and cannot be shown, whether visually or tonally. The Flood, a mysterious parasite known for burrowing into their often living victims and transforming their bodies through a painful metamorphosis, is the epitome of the M rating in Halo, and deserves justice in a modern-day upgrade of Combat Evolved. On a lesser, but equally important scale, is the Covenant, a group of religious zealots, hell-bent on eradicating humanity in the name of their gods. Without an M rating, neither antagonist can be properly depicted as the horrifying existential threat to humanity that they are, nor can the grim tone of a human race with their backs against a wall be properly conveyed. For a faithful remake, an M rating is a must. The visual presentation of the remake goes hand in hand with the tone the game invokes. In Combat Evolved's 2011 remaster, developer 343 Industries went in a direction that, let's just say, deviated from the original title's art style. The shift in color and brightness sanitized the original game's atmosphere as well. Elements to level design such as bloodstains and other visual identifiers were made practically invisible in the 2011 remaster's graphical redesign. In order for the remake to nail the feel of Combat Evolved, it needs to stay true to what helped maintain its tone and use the dull greens, grays, and blues that the original game was known for. A remake of Combat Evolved shouldn't fix what isn't broken. The inclusion of Sprint in the Halo franchise has been a hot-button debate in the Halo community for over a decade. The Bungie Halo games, which include the original trilogy of Halo games alongside ODST and Reach, did not have a dedicated Sprint feature. It wasn't until Halo 4, created by 343 Industries, that Sprint became a baseline trait for movement, and was included in subsequent releases. In a recent video by Rebs Gaming, a credible source for Halo leaks, he says this:
"The big piece of information is that the current build being tested has sprinting. Combat Evolved did not have sprint. So if this information is true, the remake will include modern gameplay features. Last year, this idea was brought up by Halo co-creator Marcus Leto when he responded to a tweet about the Combat Evolved remake rumor. He said, "What if cut missions, weapons, characters, and storyline elements were reintegrated along with more contemporary core mechanics that improve gameplay while remaining faithful to the original?" Many people agreed that this is a good idea, but my source says they made it clear to the developer that they're not happy with this modern addition by telling them the remake does not need sprinting. So the developer moved on to another topic.
While I can see the appeal to including sprint, it should be left out of the Combat Evolved remake. The pacing and gunplay of the original game still holds up to this day, and adding faster movement mechanics would not enhance the core experience. The Combat Evolved remake has a lot riding on it. After Halo Infinite failed to secure a sizable long-term player population, the franchise has been in a constant downward trend in public mindshare. I'm starving for something. Anything Halo related. It doesn't come sandwiched between two book covers. And after years of waiting, the light is finally starting to show at the end of the tunnel. When all is said and done, I just want Halo to be in a conversation that doesn't start with remember when. I got into Halo a little late, beyond the glory days of the Halo 3 release, but it managed to hook me in with the world building and characters that have now become larger-than-life titans in the gaming space. While that legacy hasn't been lived up to for quite a while now, my one hope is that we're going to be turning a corner soon. Late October 2025 is a make or break for not just Halo Studios, but the franchise as a whole. The stakes have never been higher, but if there's one thing I've learned since becoming a part of this community, it's this.
Halo. It's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.